Guys, Alpha Marina here, back again after a long hiatus. I just want to update you before I get into today's video that I've been dealing with a lot of burnout. I just lost motivation to do a lot of things, and I don't want to push myself too much, so that's why I've been gone so long. But anyway, we're back here, and if you ever are feeling burnout, do not try everything in your power to not get there. Stop the burnout before it happens. You know what I mean? I don't know how often I'll be on this channel. I know I've been inconsistent and I apologize, but I'm not so sure how often I'm going to update this because I have a full load this semester. I'm taking 16 credits and I don't want to push myself too hard, okay? Take care of yourselves. Clicked on this video, I'm assuming because you want to learn how to get started with drawing. Well, you came in the right place. I'm going to give you 5 tips on how to get started with drawing. 5 I think is a good number, and this can apply to any type of art, but I'm going to focus on drawing because that's what I'm most versed in. You have to be sure that this is something you really want to do. Art making takes a lot of time and effort, and if you really want to do art, you have to be willing to do some giving up of other stuff. Let's say you like to sing in your free time, but you want to learn art, and you got to give up some singing time in order to dedicate some time to art. You know what I mean? I'm going to be honest with you, okay? Your first drawing that you ever make when you take drawing seriously is going to suck in retrospect. I know when I first started drawing, I was very proud of my work, but looking back, it is terrible. I'm not saying this to deter you from drawing. I'm just saying that because you gotta be realistic. Is it realistic to create something as fantastic as the Mona Lisa during your first art making attempt? No, that's not possible. How can you make the Mona Lisa when you don't even know the basics? Which leads us to 2. You gotta learn the basics. If you want to learn how to draw really well, you have to learn the basics, like facial guidelines. You got to figure out where the eyes go, where the nose goes, where the mouth goes, and all that stuff, where the facial features go in terms of the distance between each other. One thing I like to keep in mind is that there's one eye approximately in between each eye. I mean, the distance between the eyes is the length of one eye, if that makes sense. To learn is anatomy. You gotta learn how the body is shaped. You don't want your characters to look too unrealistic unless your style is stylized, cartoon ish, you know? But it does help to know the proportions and the anatomy, how the hands look, how the feet look, how to draw those things. And I'll be honest, I do struggle with hands and feet, especially feet, which leads me to, okay, editing mode time. I'm in the editing mode of editing this video, and I just realized I messed up quite a bit. So I'm just gonna say, number 3, use references. References from time to time if I really need to use them, for poses, for hand positions, for outfits. Say you want to draw Black Panther, the Marvel hero, and you don't know what his outfit looks like. So you just pull up a picture of him on Google and try to draw that. I'll show it here. I tried to draw it on Procreate. I tried to have a picture of him in the corner, and then I draw him in the canvas on Procreate, and yada 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 yada. So yeah, I use references, and this also ties into life drawing and life painting, still life painting. We do those a lot in class. And also drawing from life is basically you have an apple in front of you, draw it. You don't need fancy art supplies in order to create art. Yeah, I would just start small, start cheap, buy some Crayola color pencils or something, and experiment with the media that you want to use. Try to figure out which ones you like using and which ones you absolutely despise. If you buy really good quality expensive oil paints only to realize that you hate using oil paints, that's probably going to be a waste of money because you're not using them. They're just lying around gathering dust. So that's why I say start small and just work your way up. Like, experiment with your materials, figure out which ones you like, and then go stick with the materials you like and improve on those. Like, not all materials are going to be for you. Like I really like colored pencils. I like charcoal and markers and sometimes pens, but I don't really like painting as much. That's a story for another day. On social media named Isabella.drawssss. She is like one of my favorite artists, but I'm not here to praise her. I'm bringing her up because she does make a couple TikToks and every now and then. I mean, I haven't checked, but from what I remember, she made some TikToks explaining that you don't need fancy art supplies to create art. She says something like, it's the artist, not the materials. Like, I don't remember. Like, I do remember duetting her with one of my TikToks like a year ago. And in that TikTok I duetted, she basically uses a pen, something like this from Staples, and just like did something really cool, did something great, and like her art is amazing. Like, I highly recommend following her, and she makes a very good point. Like, you don't need fancy art supplies in order to create really, really good art. She says it's the artist, not the supplies, and I could not agree more. At least, number 5, learn to accept constructive criticism. That is basically when people say, I like how you did this, but this is how you can improve. It's not always going to be said like that, but they will say stuff that they think you could improve upon. Heard that these people who tell you that you can improve on your shading, your anatomy, or blah, 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 they mean well. They just want to see you improve. And some people just don't take that very well. And you're always going to get people who are going to say really hurtful things, which is a lot different from constructive criticism. They're trying to help you when they give constructive criticism. These people that say, ew, you suck, that kind of thing, just try to ignore them. Like, I've gotten comments like that on my social media, and they do hurt, but you have to learn to shrug it off and just keep going. Like, I had a slump in February when people kept commenting bad things on my artwork, like, you haven't improved at all, and it made me feel really hurt. But then I just lost motivation to do art. But I immediately remembered that I don't want to stop creating art because of some people who are mean. I want to like continue doing what I love. And why should I let some people who don't like what I do tell me that I suck and let it affect me? Like, I don't want to let them win, you know? Like, hurtful comments on your artwork and stuff like that. My biggest advice is just don't respond. I feel like they're looking for like a reaction, like every school bully does in every school. And I don't want to give them the reaction they want. They want, like, I assume they just want to see me get angry at them and just go like, you know what I mean? But just try to be the bigger person. Don't give them what they want. Like, you know, like, don't feed the troll, like internet trolls. You know what I mean? Like, just what I'm trying to say is just don't engage with the haters. They're not worth your time. They're just behind you. Why should you pay attention to people that don't support you and want to see you go down? That's all I got for you today. Thank you so much for coming back to my channel. If you're new here, please subscribe. Comment down below any art tips that you have that I might have missed. And thank you so much. See you around.